It's always some crazy stuff going on in Florida. Florida dad catches wife having sex with son. What the F is going on? Let's get into the video.
It's very accusative and very damning to me, to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I didn't get a lawyer.
That is Alexis Von Yates, the Florida nurse who sexually abused her 15-year-old stepson. Well, now newly released audio gives us a first-hand look at the tense moments when deputies arrested her, and interviews with the boy's father provide details about what he walked in on. We are revisiting this case with some context that the public has never heard before. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Gotta talk about this new audio that has come out in a case that we have been following very closely.
Is it hard for people to just be regular? Not regular in the sense of you can be yourself, but why is it just people just doing so much just weird shit? Okay. All right.
Here on Sidebar, and what a case it is. A stepmother who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing her 15-year-old stepson. And what is this new audio? In these recordings, the boy's father describes walking in on a scene that he says left him shocked, it left all of us shocked, and deputies' body cam also captures the very moment that the defendant here, Alexis Von Yates, was arrested. So here's the story. Alexis Von Yates, a 35-year-old registered nurse, was accused of sexual abuse involving her teenage stepson during the summer of 2024. Following an investigation and multiple interviews, she was arrested, and she later faced court proceedings. This new audio does something different. It gives us a first-hand look at this father's account, and again, the tense moments of her arrest. We haven't heard this before. So to give you the full picture, let's just take a quick step back. We're going to recap the case from the beginning. This case starts off in the summer of 2024 in Ocala, Florida. At the center of it all is Alexis Yates, also known as Alexis Von Yates. She was married, she had 2 young children of her own, and she was a stepmother to a 15-year-old boy. That teen came down from Washington, D.C. to stay with his dad, Alexis, and his half-siblings for the summer break last year. And then, according to an arrest affidavit, something truly unthinkable happened. On July 30th, 2024, the Marion County Sheriff's Office got an anonymous tip. A man had allegedly walked in on his own wife, Alexis, and his son, her 15-year-old stepson, having sex. Can you imagine what that must have been like? But when investigators showed up to question Alexis's husband about that shocking allegation, he denied it. Yeah, the body cam footage captured this exchange.
We received a report that something happened when was at your house between on the 26th between and your wife.
Okay.
And that you allegedly walked in on them.
No, that's not true.
Okay. So our report came in, sexual battery, that you walked in with them in the middle of sexual acts.
No, that is 100% false.
Okay.
So, I know he's a very messed up kid. I really haven't been a part of his life for very long, but if there's anything like this, I probably should, I don't know.
Yeah. So right now, all that's the only information we have. You know, we don't have anything coming directly from him per se. But it did mention that you walked in on them.
No. That's definitely true.
Okay.
And, I don't know. Is there anyone I can know who said that, or?
It's anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous, so we don't even know.
The call came in through a line called Crime Stoppers, which is like for anonymous tips. We honestly assumed you made the report, or something along those lines.
It had to have been the son then, because I'm like, if the dad walked in on it and he's not admitting to walking in on it, it wasn't him who made the report. And I don't think the stepmom gonna report herself. And I'm like, who else would have known about this unless you told somebody? So I'm thinking it's his son.
But we don't have any information other than like she was saying that's what the report said.
Okay.
Which is why we're actually at your house right now. You used to live at the.
Yes, sir.
Me and the CPI are currently sitting in your driveway right now. Actually, we were coming to come talk to you and talk to. But you don't know anything about anything like this.
Now, we wanted to bring this case to you, and the reason that we can do that is because of the support that we get from Morgan 35, the QR code on screen.
No, and anything I probably wouldn't just.
Morgan and Morgan just taking over everybody's YouTube channels. Like, I'm seeing them everywhere.
Accusations made. I don't think they're true or not, but
You said there were accusations made.
I believe so.
Who made the accusations?
I believe that.
Made the accusations? Okay.
When did he make those accusations? Prior to this?
No.
Okay,
This is all-
so this is all brand new. So there's nothing prior that he mentioned.
No.
Okay. Okay. But you're thinking it might have come from.
I really honestly have no idea who would have
Okay.
honestly done something like that. You know, it's a really bizarre, embarrassing scenario that
Yeah.
I think he just don't want to admit it just because he said it's embarrassing, just for him, that his son was hitting his wife. But at the same time, I'm like, because who would just report that? Like, if that didn't happen, you know, like unless somebody's trying to get back at somebody, but I don't really know how that would work. So I think it was the son who did it. I don't know who else would. I mean, there's limited information so far, but I'm just going off of what I'm hearing so far. I think it was the son who reported that.
even entertain.
What accusations did he make?
I'm not sure. I would probably get a lawyer before I said anything else.
Well, you're not under investigation right now. I mean, no one's really under investigation. It's just a matter of this report came in, and at this point, it's an anonymous report. It's going to have to get seen regardless to speak to him. And then once that's done, it's a matter of either, determining whether the claims are founded or unfounded. And from what you're saying, it's more than likely unfounded.
I believe so.
Right. I mean, if you don't want to tell me, you don't want to tell me, but it go a long ways as far as helping us figure out if we can write down what told you, and then we can go to and it says, oh, I didn't make that report, or gives us verbatim what you're telling me he told you, we can kind of rule it out and kind of say, okay, we probably made this report, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I understand that, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, kind of freaking, my heart's racing a little bit, but I would think that the implications that could come of this, I don't believe that anything happened.
Okay.
Or are you protecting
But
your
the
wife?
key factor is it mentioned that you walked in on them when they were on the couch.
No, I did not see any type of physical action whatsoever.
So as you just heard, Mr. Yates flatly denied the allegation.
Because either if he literally walked in and he's saying, no, I did not see that. It's either he's like trying to protect her. I don't know why. Because if somebody did that to me, I don't give a f. I'll call the police first thing. And because that's affecting the mental. Yeah, that's affecting the mental health of the son too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if my son was 15 and he's getting some, I mean, that's still early. I ain't gonna lie, that's early as f. But if he's doing it with a minor, like another person his age, another girl his age, I wouldn't really be tripping like that. Maybe that's just me. Hey, bro, like if he's doing it with another 15-year-old, yeah, that's early. But I figure, okay, at that age, you're gonna start finding girls attractive. You're gonna start, and I would rather have that conversation with you about sex, just so it's like you're not just doing the stuff out here, just getting into trouble doing stuff. I'll be letting you know. So maybe, I mean, that's affecting the kid's mental health because this is a grown ass adult. But I'm like, I think it's just embarrassing for him, so he don't want to admit it, or he's trying to protect her in a way. You know,
100% false. Described his son as troubled with a history of making up, quote, crazy stuff. But the thing is, detectives would later reach out to Yates again after his wife's arrest. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But when investigators first spoke with the teen, what he revealed was chilling. He said his father worked nights as a lineman. So while his dad was gone, Alexis put the younger kids to bed. Then she and this teen would stay up. They would play video games. They would watch a movie and even use her THC vape pen. So at around 1 a.m., the teen said that Alexis started making inappropriate sexual comments, allegedly telling him she was horny, that she hadn't had sex in 2 weeks. He told investigators she'd been making sexual jokes in front of him for about a week already, and he admitted he was infatuated with her. From the affidavit, quote, thinking about all the statements the suspect had made to him about being horny, he decided to ask her if she wanted to cuddle. The suspect stated she thought that might be weird. He lay on top of the suspect as she lay with her head down the armrest of the couch, and she commented something to the effect of, "Oh, you're just going right for it, huh?" The affidavit continues, the suspect and child victim kissed. As the suspect began escalating, the suspect said, "Oh man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough." Now, despite that statement, the boy said things quickly escalated into sexual acts, including intercourse, and then it all blew up. The affidavit says, suddenly the door began to unlock. I bet it did blow up.
You having sex with a 15-year-old boy? What the f***?
The front door is directly in front of the couch. The child victim recalled running to the bathroom as his father entered the home, seeing his wife with no bra on and a blanket covering the lower half of her body. The child victim's father saw the child victim running to the bathroom and yelled, "What the bleep is going on?" as he threw things. The boy said his father yelled at him, and his wife ordered his son to pack up and drove him to his grandparents' home. On the way, he bought beer and, according to the affidavit, told his son he had ruined his life and never to contact him again. But what happened next made things worse.
What the hell?
The affidavit says the teen tried to tell his cousin and his mother about this abuse, but instead, multiple family members allegedly discouraged him. His grandfather allegedly said, "You better not be telling them what happened." The boy told investigators, "I realized that my man's man, blue-collar father, seeing what happened to his son, did not face the sexual abuse of his child like a man." According to the affidavit, Alexis even called the boy after this incident and told him she wished his father hadn't caught them. So then you go to November of 2024, and that's when deputies arrested her. When confronted, she refused to talk without a lawyer, but then made unprovoked statements like this one, included in the affidavit. Since the Department of Children and Families had closed their case, she was in the clear, saying the incident was so accusatory, attempting to put blame on the child victim. So deputies, they arrive at Alexis's home on November 6, 2024. And what followed was incredibly tense, from her initial confusion to immediately bringing up her lawyer and then to outright refusing to answer questions. And their body cams captured the audio of that exchange.
Yeah, hey, I'm Detective Ofsted with the Sheriff's Office. Are you Alexis?
Yes.
Hey, I was hoping to speak with you.
Okay.
If you have a moment. Are you able to come speak with me?
Oh, my kid's sleeping. I just got woke up and I gotta take him to school like in a little while. What's this about?
Is your husband here?
Because, okay, first off, okay, it seems like he got mad at the son walking in just off a rip. I don't think you would get mad. I'd be mad at both, to be honest, because I'm like, what the f are we doing? Like, what are y'all both doing? But I would get mad at, like, my wife, because she's the grown one. First of all, you cheating on me with my son. I'm not going to get, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot to unpack. I would definitely get mad at both of them, but at the same time, I feel like I would direct my attention to her because she's the adult. I'm like, what the f are you doing? Like, what? And then maybe I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just you need to go to your, or maybe no, I'm like, I would try to talk it out with him, like, hey, what happened? You never know, he could lie or something like that, but still, I feel like I'd have to have that conversation, like, okay, what happened? and have conversations with both of them, you know? But it seemed like he got mad at the son. I mean, I don't, because it depends. Like, if the son was already getting into a lot of shit, because he said he was staying with his grandparents or he was staying with his mom, staying with somebody else, and then he visited the dad. But I'm like, was he getting into trouble and all this? So was it like, okay, he already had like he was already doing stuff, so this kind of just aligns with something he would do. Not this major, but just bad shit. So he's already kind of fed up with him, and then he got mad? Or is it just like you mad at your girl getting hit, so you get mad? Like,
He works out of town.
like,
Oh, is he out of town
Yeah.
right now? Shoot. Okay.
Why? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not quite exactly sure, all the details right now, but there was something I was hoping to speak with you about. Someone able to watch the kids, maybe, while we talk?
Not really. I had my mom watch the kids like Monday, Tuesdays, and I just got off work. I'm a nurse, and I just got off work like last night, so I just was getting my sleep. Does this have to do with, I already have a lawyer. Is this about,
Yeah, it has to do with I think everybody deserves to give their side of things.
okay.
Again, that's what I was hoping to speak with you about.
I
If you
really,
have a moment.
I don't, it's very accusative and very damning to me to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I did get a lawyer. And I could give her your number. I've already.
So you don't want to talk
and another thing, I'd get kind of confused when people do shit directly. Like, they'll do something and be like, oh, I need to get my lawyer. I'm not talking unless I get my lawyer. It's just like, bro, I could see if you didn't do anything and then you get a lawyer so that you can fight the case. Be like, I know I didn't do this, but since y'all believe I did it, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get a lawyer so I can fight this and then get off. But if you know you did some shit, you don't think you deserve punishment? Do people just be... I mean, everybody think different, but that's how I look. Like, even when I watch like some of the child, like Skeeter Gene or like child predator catching videos, they be like, no, I'm not talking unless I get a lawyer here. It's like, nigga, you literally are at the house and you had messages saying that you wanted to have sex with this girl who was so-called 14, 13 years old, and you at the house. So it's like, okay, you didn't do it, yeah, but it's like you here to do it. You don't think you deserve a punishment, and you don't want to talk without. I get not wanting to talk, but like, what do you want to? You like, I'm not talking unless I have a lawyer because I need to get out of this. It's like, no, I think you need to have a punishment. I think you need to accept the punishment so that you can get help.
about it?
I don't want to talk to anybody
Okay.
about
This
it.
deputy's going to place you under arrest for lascivious battery. We'll
What
figure out something with the kids, okay? And I'll be right back, okay?
Morning, ma'am. My name is David Chiggy, the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Do you have someone that can watch your video?
Can I talk to you? This is just.
You definitely can talk with me, but unfortunately,
But you
where I'm
are
at,
going to arrest me today?
You said you had a lawyer.
if you don't want to talk to me, I get that. But with the amount of information I have, that's
Can I please? What is
so. I have quite a few conversations with different people. I have quite a few phone calls that have been recorded.
Nobody was here at all. It was me watching our kids, and a
And like I
child
said, you
made words
well,
to me.
there was something you said there, and I want to be sure. Okay, because if you don't want to talk to me, that'll
And
work.
that's crazy. If you just blame it on the kid, he could be lying though. You never know what really happened. But I mean, they both seemed like they was into it because the kid said that. Well, whatever. But I'm just saying that's crazy that you blame it on the kid if you was the one that initiated it. Even if you didn't initiate it, you took part in it. You're a grown ass adult.
I respect that. But you just told me that you don't want to talk to me about lawyer, and now you want to
Because
talk to me.
it's so, this is just so disruptive to my everyday life, all the way down to my children. I don't want to leave
Absolutely.
my children.
And I'm not here because I think you're a rapist.
So-
If I thought you were a rapist, I'd put a warrant out for you and I wouldn't try to talk to you about it, right? But I have to be really clear before we go any further, because you have said you really don't want to talk to me without a lawyer. Is that
I just think it's just so, what is going on here is just so it's just so bizarre to me. I can't even.
And that's why I really wanted to hear your side of things. But unfortunately, we can't be getting a lawyer out here right now, so I'm not going to talk to you about it if you don't want to talk to me about a lawyer present, because we do have that right.
So, in order to talk to you about
you talking about it's disrupting your everyday life. If y'all did that and got away with it, like the dad didn't come home, and I'm like, don't y'all know what time people come home? Like, why would you? Okay, I'm pretty sure if y'all did that, okay, so now it's still gonna be disrupting your everyday life because y'all gonna have to sit with the fact that y'all did that, and even if you're not really like, having a guilty conscience, you still are low-key turning this boy. You already did it because you kind of already turned the boy out, and now his mental is going to be a little, what you call hypersexual, some people say it. He might not be, but I'm saying it's going to be after effects, such as him still wanting to have sex again, and maybe you don't want to, and then he might be like, well, I'm going to tell, and then it's going to still affect your everyday life. It's just like, why did you do this in the first place?
I have to talk to you without my lawyer.
No.
Or even if y'all still continuing and y'all like, okay, he wants to do it again, or you want to do it again, and he's like, no, I don't want to, and then just get weird,
We're just not going to talk about it because you said you'd rather have your lawyer present.
Because I guarantee you, it was not just going to just end there. They ain't just going to have sex and okay, well, to go back to stepmom, stepson. No, that's not how it works.
So what do we do now then?
We're going to figure out someone that can come watch your kids, but you are going to be placed under arrest right now.
So after she's placed in handcuffs, Yates began to insist that she had already been cleared of what she was being accused of, which was mentioned in the affidavit, and expressing concern over her other young son seeing her in handcuffs.
Can I just ask you what is going to happen now? Because at this point, I truly thought DCF came here and they went through everything with me, and at that time it was just so embarrassing and unbelievable what was going on. And then I received a letter and they were saying, we are done with your case, you could rest easy. And I know that those
less seen. Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm going to bring the vehicle closer so you're not seen by
Thank
anything.
you.
Right?
I feel like I'm going to throw up at any moment. This
Yeah,
is unbelievable.
I think you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. There's a lot of things. I'm honestly, it's truly unbelievable. I don't know. There's frustration is one with the kid. What has been said, I just can't believe the amount of disadvantage that has been. But what I'm saying is, so I know you guys are different departments. So
yeah, they're not law enforcement. They're just a civil entity that has to deal with children and families and elderly.
Okay.
And so what we are is a law enforcement agency, so completely different roles. So their role would be to determine, and again, this is just speaking not about your case, this is speaking generally about just how we work. Their role is to, determine if there's dangers to children immediately present, see if there's action that has to be taken, and to occasionally offer services, right? And then law enforcement, we investigate if there's violations of statute.
Right.
So it's a completely different thing, though. We do often work hand in hand. I can understand why that would be a little confusing. Again, I want to respect your right, and I don't want to talk to you more about this. You keep trying to talk with me about it. I'm not trying to be rude. I just really am trying to respect you. That's all I'm trying to do. I know that this whole process just feels disrespectful, just in general. Being arrested, right? Not being free to leave, being taken somewhere you didn't want to go, having to have someone come here. But it's a process we have to go through. It's not like, everyone wants to be, dragging everybody through all this. It's the process. So I appreciate your patience in the meantime.
Y'all would, I was going to say, y'all would not talk to a man like this if he did this. Because It's just if a man is looked at as a predator, it's way worse than if a woman is. It's still bad. But don't get me wrong. If a man did this, I guarantee they would have went right to his house, sir. So regarding this and this happened, you're going to be arrested. They ain't gonna be saying all this, oh well, I just want to respect you. And I don't want to make I know you don't want this to happen, but it's a process. It might happen if it's allegations. But still, they ain't gonna. I don't think they're giving a man this grace. I don't understand why they do it with a woman.
We can get her in the back for now, and then
Like she did something crazy.
We don't harm the mother.
But it's probably innocent till proven guilty. So no, I mean I get it.
okay. And then is kiddo asleep in there? Are they going to be all right for now? Is he going to be all right for now?
I don't know. He likes to. He might even be up looking for me in the
how
house.
old is he?
He's almost 4. He's 3.
And the last thing I want for him to see is mom in handcuffs.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's get you in the back of the car. He'll probably be okay for 5 minutes or so, right?
I can't just stand here till my mom gets
You can.
here.
I just don't want him to see. I guess you can just
I think
hang out
me
like
here is better than me in a cop car.
absolutely.
I don't know. The whole thing is just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I can't.
that. All we can
I
do.
cannot comprehend this.
All we can do is take it one step at a time.
People do this. I know I'm pausing, but it just is crazy to me. People will do shit that deserves a punishment, and then when they get punished, be confused about why they're being punished. It's like, what the f? Like, why did you not know what you were doing was wrong? It don't matter if you was horny. It don't matter what the f was going on. It's like you had sex with a 15-year-old, the son of your husband. Whether he was the son of your husband or if he was a random 15-year-old, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying that adds to it. That makes it worse. It's in-house, like this is kind of weird. You don't think deserve punishment for this?
I don't want to make this any more difficult for you than it has to be, right? So
Now, as I mentioned earlier, detectives speak with the child's father a second time, again, to better understand what had happened that night.
Okay.
And this is what he told them.
Well, this is Frank.
Hey, Mr. Yates, this is Detective Austin of the Sheriff's Office. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you have a moment to talk?
I do.
So I've talked to quite a few people. I think you probably know what I'm calling about.
Yes, sir.
It's my understanding that you, though you weren't wanting to talk about it at the time that the Department of Children and Families came by, you were willing to talk about the incident. Should your son go on record about it? He's gone on record in some detail. I was really hoping that I could, no matter how painful, or difficult it is to talk about, I was wondering if I could speak with you about what happened that night.
So as far as right now, is that like something that's like an official or on the record type thing, or?
What do you mean? Oh, no, I'm not going to swear you in front of me or anything. I did want to talk about what happened though.
Right. But I mean, is it like a recorded statement or?
I would be documenting what you said for sure.
Right. Yeah, and sorry I missed your call. I didn't know. I worked a night shift last night. I'm out of town, and I was sleeping. I had my phone on airplane mode. And
great idea.
Obviously woke up to a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously there's some serious implications to this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say, really.
All you can say is the truth. I think that is the most important thing.
Right.
What?
Because if she doing this, man, it's no telling. Don't get me wrong. She could be loyal, but it's like, I don't think you just start cheating with the kid first. I'm looking at it like, okay, it's no telling what she was doing.
What happened the last night that your son was in your home?
So basically I came home after working a night shift, and I walked in and seen someone in a compromising position. and I didn't see anything like, definitive, I guess you could say. And she has her story, and yeah, I can't really say. It's just going off of what he said, she said kind of stuff. So,
Did she have clothes on?
at the time, no.
Okay. Was he in the room when you walked in?
Yes.
Did he have clothes on?
Yes.
Fully clothed, or?
It happened really quick. I wasn't really.
Stop bull. You remember every single thing that happened in that moment. Yes, you do. That's not something that you forget.
Expect to come home to anything like that. But,
absolutely. No, and I understand for so many reasons why this is such an uncomfortable conversation. The last thing I want to do is, make people uncomfortable. But unfortunately, in situations like this, it's really important.
Right.
And I don't need to tell you that. I know you're a grown man. You understand that.
And so even though this time the father revealed that he did in fact witness something, he kind of keeps his statements vague, remaining seemingly cautious.
She has a lawyer and, is fully aware of the accusations and whatnot. So, I don't know if you can tell me anything as far as what's going on, or...
I certainly can tell you a little bit, but I want to make sure I understand. I mean, what is her story that she told you?
Basically, that she was in a towel, went out to the living room to get her phone late at night, and he had ripped the towel off of her, and that's when I came inside. All in that small window there, I guess you could say.
Okay. If that is what she told him, then I guess that kind of makes sense as to why he got mad at the kid and sent him to his grandma's house. I could see then how that makes sense. But you said when you walked in, she was in a compromising position. She was in a compromising position. Did you see a towel anywhere in the room? I don't know, bro. I feel like you gotta put the pieces together.
Okay. Well, it's my understanding she told some other people a different story. Do you know anything about maybe other statements she would have made?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Do you have...
The biggest thing is if something is to... Basically, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm being, I don't know what you would say, accused, or... I have 2 small kids, I'm sure you know. If something was to happen to her, I would be the only parent. I don't want to obviously have myself in any type of trouble. I did nothing wrong, but I don't...
Yeah, I'm not investigating you for a crime. I just...
Right, I know, but as far as not saying something, or I don't know how this all works or anything like that. But
well, if it turns out that, I get down the road and I find out that you've, point blank, intimidated him to not press charges or anything like that, that would be an issue, right? But as far as you not telling me what happened, I mean, though, or at least not wanting to tell me, everything in full detail, I find that a little concerning. But it's not necessarily against the law. I think what's most important for everybody would be to just tell the truth, the full truth from the beginning. Obviously I don't get to the point I'm at without a little bit of evidence.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so I just really wanted to, hear what you had to say. Because I have, a couple conversations where people have told me that you told them that you would be willing to tell the full story. and everything you know.
Right. And that's the thing too, is I basically told you the full story.
No.
As far as what I physically saw, but
It's my understanding there was a little bit more of a conversation that occurred between the two of you that night, where she told you a little bit more than that.
as far as Alexis telling me something?
Yes, during the argument that ensued when you got home.
Right. And that was basically me asking what the hell is going on, and like I said, going back and forth is like a he said, she said stuff.
So she didn't apologize.
Like who do you believe at that point? I guess.
So she didn't apologize to you and make statements along the lines of, that she was sorry and that he looks like you.
Oh God.
What the? Wait. They did not bring that up. She said that.
Public record or.
So.
Bro, this nigga just doesn't want his, like, he doesn't, I think that he doesn't want, it's like an ego thing. Just because he said, like, even his dad told him, oh, don't say nothing. His family's persuading him not to say nothing. That's weird. But I mean, I guess that's just how people be brought up. Like, if something like that happens, it's like a hit on your ego, or it says something about you as a man. I mean, kind of, but I feel like it says something about her more than you. You wasn't the one. It's not like you had sex with your stepdaughter on some weird shit. She was the one that actually did something. I mean, if anything, maybe that just shows that maybe you picked the wrong woman. But if she wasn't showing no signs, how would you know that? So I mean, I feel like he keeps on. Is this gonna be public record and all that? It's like, bro, like, do you realize this is a felony? Like, this is very serious. I think you should just go ahead, like the guy said, tell the truth.
In cases where investigations of unlawful sexual activity with minors, there's laws protecting, their information from being public record.
I mean, as far as like statements go.
As far as their information, being involved, and where he's directly involved with the incident, that would be, not public record.
After learning more information, the detective pressed him to provide a full statement, asking about not just what he witnessed, but why he hadn't reported it.
I'm not here to embarrass you.
Thing.
I think that I can understand why you have cognitive dissonance about this, why losing her would represent a major upset in your life, not just as far as like your emotions, but the kids and everything that represents. But
exactly, and that's the big thing right there. I mean, that's the consequences that's going to have for my small children. So, and that's basically where have been with this whole situation.
But can you at least answer that for me? Did she make statements to that effect?
I really think maybe I should speak with a lawyer or something.
Okay. I mean, you can if you want, but I get the feeling the answer is yes. If you're not telling me no, I just, I'm here to try to make sure that the truth is what's recorded.
Right.
I'm not here to humiliate anybody. That's not my intention. I'm not here to ridicule anyone. When she was arrested this morning, she was treated with...
I don't know, man, because it just really sounds like you're still trying to protect her, even after you did something with... Like, okay, yeah, you could say the son being like that, because they said like the son was infatuated with her or something like that, meaning he was interested. Yeah, I get that. And you should have that conversation with your son. Like, okay, so like what's going on, bro? Like, did you want to do this? And like, why would like? I mean, I don't know where I would go with that conversation, but I just feel like I would have to have that conversation with I feel like me and my son, we would be close enough to have that type of conversation. That something like this. I mean, I don't know how this type of stuff happens, man. I don't know, but I do feel like me and my son would be close enough to have this type of conversation. Like, okay, we just need to put everything on the table, and you need to tell me exactly like did you want to do this? I just need to know everything. Please just tell me. But I would still hold her accountable. Yeah, I understand it's kind of like, you know, it would affect your other children because they wouldn't have her mother. I don't think she'd be going to prison for like life though. She might get some years. No, she definitely gonna get some years. She gonna get some. She gonna get some shit. We gonna see though. They probably. I don't know. She gonna get some years for this. But I mean, you realize like she did something crazy to one of your kids, right? So it's like I wouldn't be able to look at her the same and put anything past her, you know, as far as doing something with your other kids. Even if they're younger and they're girls, it's just still weird. I wouldn't trust you around my kids no more after you did something like this. So you kind of being like, you not wanting to say nothing or not wanting to give the full story, it just looks a little odd on your part, bro. Like, you know, I'm not saying, oh yeah, throw the book at her. Like, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, why it seem like you hiding details to like, I mean, I don't know.
You know,
I hope y'all see what I'm saying though. Like, this don't kind of come off weird.
all the respect we could give. You know, she wasn't, you know, treated poorly or anything like that. And I don't think going forward that's how it'll be. But I really would like your full statement, because you are not implicated in a crime. You are just essentially not giving me your witness statement of what you witnessed.
Right.
Which, when it comes to the sexual abuse of a child, is obviously concerning.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to answer that question for me?
You know, at the time that everything was going on, it was like so late at night, stuff like that. I don't really recall that a specific statement like that being made.
Based off of the way you're kind of answering me, I think you do recall what was said, but I think you don't want to.
It's
tell
obvious,
me.
like, and if you really didn't want to answer this, why would you stop giving these little vague ass answers? Why don't you just be like, yeah, no, I don't know what happened, and then be confident. You like, well, I really don't think I should tell this, so I really think I should talk to like, but you saying yes. but you basically saying yes, not saying it. Like, you making this so weird.
And I'm not meaning to be super confrontational about it. I just, you know, I've been doing this a long time.
No, I know, and I respect you. I really do. I just, you know, I mean, I'm not sure what to do, and the implications of all this. I'm not sure if I should contact a lawyer and talk with them before I say anything, because now I'm getting a feeling that the person who's done nothing wrong is going to be, I don't know what could go wrong here.
Well, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not implicating you in any crime. I just, you know, there were statements made to me like that you had perhaps put in an anonymous tip about this. Is that true?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No, sir.
Why did you not report what you saw?
Like I said, it was like, who do you believe at that point? And,
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
but there were more statements she made to you than the ones than the one that you told me. It's less a question of did it happen, And it's more a question of who egged it on.
Right.
Because whether or not it happened is not really in question at this point.
Okay.
So, that's why it'd be really important to...
I mean, but even if, like, whether it was the 15-year-old or her egging it on, I mean, yeah, it definitely looks worse if she's egging it on. But even if he was the one that was really like, oh, let's do this. Ain't no way you still, like, I feel like she's still accountable as the adult. Like, he's a kid. Of course he's going to be looking at it like this. Like, if she's wearing certain things around the house, not saying it's okay for him to be looking, but as a young boy who's getting interested in that, you might notice that. Of course, you're not going to bring it up or like act on it, but even if he was egging it on, just for her to do it is still weird. It's still like, I feel like as the adult, you're not going to do that because you have the sense. You have more sense. You know this is not right. So
help me understand where everybody's head was at the time that this occurred. But, if you're not wanting to really answer my questions right now, that's, not ideal, but it's okay, right? You have, freedom of speech, as far as me calling you on the phone right now. And I'm not here trying to ruin your day. I'm just here trying to help your son, who has, nobody really advocating for him.
that's crazy.
And that's kind of a tough thing to see. But
Yes, sir.
if you change your mind and you'd like to give me a more complete statement, you're more than welcome to. You have my number, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yep. And again, I don't want to have ruined your day. Please don't let me have ruined your day. I hope you have a good and thank you for the work that you do.
Bro, that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Ruin his day.
Now, detectives end up speaking with the father again on December 3rd, 2024, and this time he spoke much more openly. He first described the unsettling events leading up to the night that he came home, recalling how Alexis went from having a negative attitude toward his son to suddenly wanting him around a lot more.
One thing I wanted to point out was before this had happened, she had a very negative attitude towards him. Basically didn't want him to be here. When we would talk about him coming down, it was, can he be here for a week? Can he be here for 2 weeks? Not 3 weeks or a month, or not for the whole summer, of course. That was like off the table. And then, so he was here for, I think, about 3 weeks. He was supposed to go home. She was basically wanting him to stay another week longer, which I thought was very odd. There was a lot of things that I thought that was very odd in that last week, as far as all of a sudden how she flipped a switch to like how she viewed him and what was going on.
I want to know what was going on in your relationship, though, because she said that she hadn't had sex in 2 weeks, and things happen. There's gonna be periods where y'all ain't doing nothing, So I'm like, I wonder what was going on in their relationship, and that turned her on to doing something with his kid. Because is it just like he's working late and he's not giving you the attention that you want? So you turn to his son? Because if you're saying stuff like that, like, oh, I don't really want him here that long, or can he go back sooner? And then all of a sudden you just switch. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. She on some shit, dude.
I had an uncomfortable feeling in my gut about it. So did other people.
The father described what he says was a shocking scene when he came home, detailing the moment he discovered his own son and wife in a sexual situation.
It's the handle. I walk in and I look over to my left and I see her sitting down. Her boobs are out. She's naked. And he was standing up basically in a position where it looked like his waist level was at her head level. So I think she was performing oral sex when I walked in the door.
Were you able to see like his?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
You know,
Damn.
Obviously, you're not walking in the door like.
Oh, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
So, and then he immediately, what I think has happened is he pulled up his pants. It kind of looked like he pulled up his pants a little bit and he had jetted off to the bathroom. I go over to her and I'm immediately like, obviously I see her breasts are out and I'm like, what the f is going on? I say that probably 20 different times, like, what the f is going on? She has this stupid expression on her face, just like a bewildered expression on her face. Doesn't say anything the entire time this is going on. She has a blanket over top of her lap. I go over there and I'm basically like, surely to God she's not naked. And so I walk over to her, still she's not saying anything, bewildered look on her face, and I snatch the blanket off of her lap and she is butt-ass naked. At that point, I'm like, you know, just shocked. I know basically that something's been going on. So he comes out of the bathroom at this point. We're talking about stuff that's going on. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I don't need you to come outside with me right now. My son, and I'm like, I bring him out there and I'm basically like, please God, like, tell me exactly what's going on, exactly what happened, because I want to know everything that happened. And he proceeded to tell me that they had both had oral sex on each other. I felt like he was still hiding stuff. At that point, she's kind of coming back and forth outside the house to talk to me. And, you know, I'm obviously not wanting anything to do with her. And then the one thing that, like, struck me the most when this was all happening was she tried to come out there and basically say that it wasn't as bad as it looked, and I looked her right in her eye. I said, "You," and she looked right at me and like said, "Oh, I forgot you knew that." Was exactly what.
Oh yeah, no. She think you when girls say like that blatantly to your face, I think the respect is gone. When they say like that, when they be like, "Oh man, all I did was suck his dick." What? I'm not saying this right here, but I'm saying like in instances where the girls be just talking stupid to guys. It's like, yeah, she obviously don't respect you, or she just been playing you. She think you stupid, because girls know who to say certain to. Did that make sense? Girls know who they can say certain stuff to. They ain't gonna say like so stupid to you unless they think you stupid. Like, oh well, we didn't have sex. I just let him put the tip in. Like, I should sock you in the. No, I'm not me, but I'm just saying like I could understand how you would get mad if she was to say something like that to you. Cause I'd be like, do you think I'm stupid? But then but I feel like when they say stuff like that, that just speaks to how like y'all dynamic and what your relationship is like. If she feels like she can say that to you, I forgot you knew that she forgot he knew that she sucked his son's dick. Like, what are we talking about?
Then I took him to my dad's house.
If I'm gonna be real, if somebody said that, if a girl said that to me, I might really. I don't ever put my hands on women, but I might really slap the out of him. Bro, do you understand? Like, that's so crazy. Like, for her to just, it's not even that bad. This is my son. I walked in on you giving him head. That's not bad. What? The only thing that's worse could be you killing him. You know, like, or honestly, like, what are we talking about?
A huge ordeal ever since, which I regret the fact that I didn't just call the cops immediately.
And the father said that Alexis.
Went to my dad's house, and that's just. Then I took him to my dad's house, and it's just been a huge ordeal ever since, which I regret the fact that I didn't just call the cops immediately.
And the father said that Alexis tried to excuse her actions as just a loss of control. He says he didn't believe her.
She tries to act like she had just, lost control and blacked out or didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, you weren't even drinking, first of all. You're stone cold sober. There's so many details leading up to that night. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Basically her attitude and everything that since this has happened, I'm just like, I'm done with trying to, I don't want to say protect her, but I'm done with the whole situation. I just wanted to go into it.
Well, and all that should happen, right, is that the truth should come out, and that's what's going to allow everyone to move on. Everyone tells the truth, and then we can move on, right? Whatever that's going to entail, we'll get through that, and then life will continue.
Only people that's gonna move on is you and your son. She going to prison.
Now, did you have further conversations with her about it? Did she admit to anything beyond the oral to you?
No, she did not. I don't believe her at all. Just my gut feeling, like I said again, I think that they had sex.
Yeah.
But no, she would never admit that to me.
Did she make any statements to you about why it happened?
Yeah. She said multiple times she's told me how much he looked at me.
Just generally or specifically?
That is not an excuse.
No, what she had told me was that it was kind of dark and that he looked so much like you.
Okay.
Type of thing. I know what she said to the other girls.
Okay, but she never made any comments about his anatomy or anything like that?
No, not to me.
Okay, I understand.
Obviously, I had heard what she had told the other girls. I had confronted her about that many times, and she basically said, which I already knew, she wasn't doing it in like a braggadocious way. She was doing it in a way that was trying to defend her actions and what she did. Mm-hmm. The things he was saying, the size of his blah, 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 basically he seemed older and more mature than he was.
So what happened? Well, Alexis Von Yates was originally charged with lewd or lascivious battery, but then prosecutors upgraded that charge to sexual battery by a person in familial custody. That's a first-degree felony carrying up to life in prison.
Oh!
The fallout didn't stop there, though, because in April of 2025, the Florida Department of Health suspended her nursing license. In their words, Miss Yates' decision to engage in sexual activity with a minor child and/or her decision to allow a child to engage her in oral and penetrative sex indicates that she lacks the good judgment and moral character necessary to be a registered nurse. Therefore, Miss Yates' continued practice as a nurse presents a risk of immediate, serious danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And then came the official
and now I bet you that she'll blame it on the kid or she'll try to blame the dad somehow.
Sentencing. So instead of heading to trial on September 16th, 2025, Alexis Von Yates stood in court and agreed to a plea deal. She avoided a life sentence. She pleaded guilty to that lesser charge, lewd or lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16. And her sentence, 2 years in state prison, 10 years probation, 200 hours of community service with Marion County Solid Waste Litter Control. She has to register as a sex offender, no contact with the victim during her entire sentence. The judge said he signed off on the plea in part to spare the victim from having to testify in open court, writing that forcing him to recount these traumatic details in front of a jury would cause, quote, undue re-traumatization. The victim's mother told the court that Alexis was a coward and an incestuous pedophile. She also said her son's relationship with his father has been destroyed, claiming the two haven't spoken since all this happened. Alexis Von Yates, once a trusted nurse, she is now a convicted sex offender, serving prison time, stripped of her license, her career.
That is crazy, though. Y'all went from life to 2 years. I'm thinking that she's going to get a little bit more than that, maybe about 5 years. Y'all said 10 on probation. Okay, like I mean, I'm not saying I want her to be in prison for life. I don't. But 2 years is like, do you? I don't think that really matters. I would say like at the least 5, and then give her 5 months probation. I mean 5 years probation. I don't know. Just looking like 2 years ain't really. Like, that's not.
And according to her own family members, her integrity. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, it messed up the relationship with his dad. I assume it would. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Y'all drop in the comments how y'all feel about it. I didn't expect to. I'm thinking that they're gonna bring somebody in and talk about it how they usually do. I'm thinking that was gonna be half of the video, so I thought I was only gonna watch half. I didn't expect for it to be this long, but I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Let's keep going, man.